Have you ever wondered if GTA 5's subway is realistic? How accurate is the replica Rockstar Games created of Los Angeles' public transit system? In this video, we're gonna dig into every detail of GTA 5's subway, whether it's realistic, functional, and if it actually follows specific routes. We'll talk about the train model, if it matches the real-life version, how it works, whether it's possible to live without a car in Los Santos, and many other details about GTA 5's complex subway system. So stick around till the end, and I'm sure you'll learn something new about GTA 5, or at least about subways. Before we start analyzing GTA 5's subway system, we first need to understand the company behind it, and also the jokes and backstory hidden within, since every GTA 5 organization or brand has something going on behind the scenes. The company that runs the entire subway system is called Los Santos Transit, or simply LST, as you can see in several spots around the subway stations in Los Angeles. Los Santos Transit operates both bus services and a light rail system, which is exactly what we're going to talk about in this video. If you haven't seen it yet, we've already made a full video explaining everything about GTA 5's bus system, and for those who did watch it, you know the bus system in GTA 5 is called the Bullet, while the subway system we'll analyze today is called the Arrow. The GTA 5 subway has a single light rail line in Los Santos, covering 11 stations that connect the city's main neighborhoods. The network alternates between underground and elevated sections, and the trains are inspired by the real-life Siemens P2000 model. The railway forms a closed loop linking the Davis area to the Los Santos International Airport, where, by the way, we've also made a full video analyzing if that airport is realistic. The problem with GTA 5's subway starts right at its conception. The fact that it was designed as a loop is already a huge flaw, and it makes the whole system feel far from realistic. Put yourself in the shoes of a poor citizen living in Davis who wants to catch a train to Los Santos International Airport. They'd have to ride all the way around the city just to reach the final stop and then get to the airport. And if they want to go back, same thing. They'd have to travel across almost the entire city again just to return to Davis. They're completely out of luck, especially since the full GTA 5 subway loop takes around 52 minutes in real time, which equals about 26 in-game hours. Now imagine waiting 26 in-game hours just to go from the Los Santos airport to some suburb in GTA 5. Alright, now let's talk about the structure of the whole subway system. The subway in Grand Theft Auto 5 is heavily inspired by the Los Angeles Transit Network. The underground parts look a lot like LA's Red Line, while the elevated sections resemble the city's light rail lines. The station roofs, like the ones in Davis, are based on the Green Line, so you can clearly see that Rockstar mixed elements from different stations and areas to create this fictional loop. As I mentioned earlier, the Siemens P2000, the model that inspired GTA 5's trains, is an electric light rail vehicle designed for high-demand urban systems and developed by Siemens Mobility. It began operating in Los Angeles in the 2000s. This kind of train runs on AC electric motors, which get power from one of two systems: the overhead catenary, a suspended wire above the tracks that transfers electricity through a pantograph, or the third rail, an electrified bar next to the tracks that transmits power through contact shoes. In GTA 5, we can clearly see that Rockstar went with the overhead catenary system, that suspended wire that powers the train. The funny thing is, the wire doesn't actually make contact with the pantograph, and for the electricity to flow, it technically needs to touch. But hey, we'll let that slide. After all, it's a 2013 game, and making sure that wire connects perfectly throughout the whole route would have been a serious challenge. Let me take a quick pause here to remind you to leave a like on this video and subscribe to the channel, because a lot of people watch all our videos and still forget to subscribe. People just lost the habit of subscribing to new channels, so please help us out. Less than 8% of our viewers are subscribed. Let's see if we can hit 10,000 subscribers soon. Now, another thing I noticed is that there is a person behind the subway's general announcement system, and they even make some, let's say, unusual announcements.
Please report any homeless people to a police officer. If you happen to fall on the tracks, lay flat on the ground until the train passes. Do not display electronics like phones or tablet computers. A crowded train is not an excuse for inappropriate touching, no matter how tempting.
That's Rockstar and their classic sarcastic humor. However, during the ride, you never actually hear anyone saying anything related to your trip, so don't expect an automated voice announcing the next station, or even the one you've just arrived at. If you're the kind of person who likes to take a quick nap on the subway, don't count on being woken up in GTA 5's subway. That's just not going to happen. And it's not just about sound. There's also no visual indicator telling you which station is next or which one you've just passed. To make things even harder, you spend most of the journey inside tunnels, which means you can't even use your mini-map. That makes it pretty tough to navigate and figure out exactly which direction you're going. Basically, you have to check your location on the main map and compare it with the official subway map that lists all the stations. One nice detail though is that every station has a unique name displayed on, so players can still find their bearings. As I mentioned earlier, you can see NPCs boarding and getting off the trains in GTA 5's subway, but something still feels off. Even though the stations are large and fully capable of handling big crowds, the whole subway system feels abandoned. There are very few NPCs walking around, as seriously, most of the stations look like ghost towns. People just don't use it. It's kind of eerie, honestly. It feels like the game world just died in there. What's funny is that I actually think Rockstar did that on purpose. In the game, people who use public transportation in Los Santos are basically seen as losers. Socially, it doesn't look good to be riding the subway in that city. And it makes sense because in Los Santos, cars are practically a form of satire. Just like in real life, Los Angeles has a massive traffic problem, and Rockstar is clearly poking fun at that, as if to say people have completely given up on using the subway in GTA 5. Now, looking at the subway system itself and how everything actually works in-game and some of the weird things I noticed, let's do a quick analysis. The first thing I want to point out is that, as funny as it sounds, if you take out the subway conductor in GTA 5, nothing happens. The train just keeps running like normal. It's hilarious to see the driver slumped over while the train keeps moving on its own. Sure, in some parts of the world, subways are fully automated, but still, it's odd. In some stations, there's an elevator for wheelchair users or people carrying luggage who can't use the stairs. A really nice touch of realism that Rockstar actually included. However, inside the train cars, there are no reserved spaces for people with disabilities. The interior of the subway is also pretty plain, nothing particularly special about it. You can find a few small booths that seem to serve as both information desks and ticket vending spots. And speaking of subway tickets, some stations have a pretty grotesque design flaw. The ticket machines are placed after the turnstiles, which makes no sense at all. How is someone supposed to buy a ticket if they have to go through the gate that requires a ticket to access the ticket machines? Now, this doesn't happen everywhere. I found at least 2 stations with this issue, and in one of them, it seems like the developer tried to fix it by adding a ticket machine outside the station, but still, it doesn't solve the problem. Actually, even if you do need to pass through the turnstile, you can easily get by. There's a huge gap between the gate and the barrier, so you can just walk right through. And since there's no NPC, no staff member, no guard, or anyone at any booth to stop you, the whole place feels completely lifeless. Even spots that could have used a single NPC to bring some life to the subway system were totally neglected. Oh, it's just dead. Now, to give Rockstar some credit, the billboards and ad spaces around the subway look amazing. There are tons of ads that almost feel like they could be from real brands, and you can tell the developers put real effort into creating them. Even though they're parodies of real-world ads, they fit perfectly within the game's world. Inside the subway tunnels, there are also signal lights showing whether the conductor should go or stop due to traffic ahead, but they're purely decorative. In practice, the train never stops or reacts to them. There are also a few posted rules like no loud music, no littering, no skating, no smoking, and no eating or drinking, but you can easily spot people eating inside the trains anyway. Another interesting detail, the Los Santos transit ticket machines are nearly identical to the real-life ones in Los Angeles. In fact, if you look closely, you can even see the word TAP written on them, which is an actual copyrighted brand from real life. Someone at Rockstar clearly slipped up there, because that could technically cause some legal trouble. Another curious thing, all the machines share the exact same serial number, and those help panels you find around the stations, they're completely fake. Only the titles are real. If you zoom in, you'll see the paragraphs all start with the letter Y, just as filler text. But the titles are what matter, and as things like how to buy a ticket, find your train, and board safely. And for my final analysis in this video, I decided to put myself in the shoes of a Los Santos resident and actually try to use the city's subway system without relying on vehicles. So here's what I did. I picked a destination. In this case, I wanted to go to the beach in GTA 5, and I started at the S. Davis station. I had to ride through several stops before finally reaching the closest one to the beach. So yes, you can technically move around the city using the subway in GTA 5, but it's very limited. If you need to walk anywhere afterward, it'll take a long time. so cars remain by far the most efficient way to get around. But if you're into roleplay and just want the experience of taking the subway in GTA 5, it actually works fine for that. Overall, the subway system in GTA 5 is quite satisfying. Only two things really bothered me. First, the fact that it's a loop, which makes getting around the city inefficient since you waste a lot of time passing through stations you don't even need. And second, how empty it feels. Rockstar could have easily added more pedestrians, musicians, random events, maybe even buskers or passengers chatting, anything to make it feel alive, but instead, it's just dead. Still, if you can overlook those two issues, I'd say the subway system in GTA 5 is overall pretty satisfying and surprisingly realistic. And honestly, for a 2013 game built on PS3 hardware, it's more than enough. Alright guys, that's it for this video. You already know we've made other videos in this same style, so I'll leave the playlist linked right here. We've already analyzed several different places in GTA 5, so if you like this one, make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. That's all for today. Thanks for watching. See you next time.